going on? How's everyone doing?
Shout out to Colin. Everybody else who's cool with Colin.
Chucky, I didn't say.
Get your popcorn and your Coca-Cola and relax.
Anyway, tell Colin I'm ready.
What's going on? This is Colin. How's everybody doing? Hopefully you're having a... That's not what I say. Hey, now I feel like I have to start over. You guys know the words. Hopefully you guys are having a great day so far. Man, I just got myself caught up. Now I don't even know what to do. You guys want to watch some court? I want to watch some court. Let's watch some court. All right, let's see. What do I have tonight? I've got a bunch of stuff, bunch of random stuff tonight. We're going to start with Judge Coretti. We have siblings arguing, and it's kind of funny. It's kind of sad and funny at the same time. And then Judge Coretti threatens one of the brothers with contempt at the end of the hearing. So that's always interesting. You know what? That's all I'm going to start with. We'll just talk through it as we go, as normal. Hopefully you guys had a great day, and I don't know words. Before I hit that play button, you know what to do. Hit the like and subscribe. Do your jump kick backflips. Let's go.
Brian Lewandowski versus David Lewandowski. We have one motion that hasn't been ruled on yet, and then we have a settlement conference today as well.
All right, appearances.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Angelo D'Onofrio on behalf of the plaintiff in this matter, and sitting next to me is the plaintiff.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. The other Mr. Lewandowski's put your appearances on the record.
Daniel's here.
Robert Lewandowski, state your name.
Robert Lewandowski.
And unmute yourself, David Lewandowski. You're muted, Mr. Lewandowski. Unmute yourself. Well, you're still muted. Figure that out. I know you can hear us. Nod your head if you can hear us. All right, so good. Unmute your computer. With that, Ms. D'Onofrio, go ahead.
So, Judge, this was an motion from last week regarding a motion for distribution of the proceeds from the sale of the.
This is bro. It's like one brother versus all of his brothers. This is interesting.
Property. Yeah. At the last hearing, the court was gracious enough to give us an opportunity to brief some of the allegations that were made by Mr. Daniel Lewandowski, 3 of them, which was that one, plaintiff got $60,000 from a reverse mortgage on the property.
Wait. Hold on. Give me a moment.
Sure, Joe.
So you're saying you filed briefs from last week?
Yes, Judge.
All right. Why don't I have those, Francesca?
Judge, I'm not sure. All I see is a motion. Let me check when counsel filed.
There's only a motion in the original file. Only a motion.
Looks like he filed it on Friday. That's why, Judge.
All right. So I haven't seen it. So
I can
Francesca, adjourn this. Well, you can you email me that right now?
I'm already downloaded, Judge.
Reading my mail as usual. Ahead of the curve. All right, so we'll pass this matter. I'll look at what you filed, and then we'll go back on the record. Everybody stay on.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, recalling Lewandowski. So, Mr. D'Onofrio, I had an opportunity to review your response. Let's go over what we went over. I think it was last week. So you're saying your client paid $1,610 for the deck. The $6,256, was that for the mortgage?
Yes,
what
Judge.
Is that?
That was for the mortgage.
Payments of that amount?
That was the total sum that he paid, correct?
Hey, can you guys hear me okay? I can't tell if I'm having an issue or if things are just kind of glitched on StreamYard's part. Yeah. And then I was just thinking it was on my side, and then Cheshire Cat, of course, with this message. But just making sure you guys can hear the video and me going. All right, all right. Things are a little glitchy on the video. All right. Should I rewind it or is everything good? About 30 seconds if you want me to. But now I have to wait 30 seconds before you answer that. If you guys rewind, I'll rewind it.
And then what the 4324, what was that?
That's an attorney's fees that he's paid to date. The request for distribution of further attorney fees is what owed. That's why it's separated.
All right, and then how much additional are you requesting in attorney fees?
$1,500, Judge, above and beyond what I've asked for of my.
All right. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, my video is glitching on my side, but I don't have the internet like little thing that tells me my signal's weak. But the video is kind of glitched on my side, and you guys are saying you can't really hear me. All right. I mean, I don't know what to do. I can, back out and come back in. I don't know if that'll help. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just waiting for something to happen. Yeah. Yeah. Must not. He must have taken the internet with him when he took the night off. All right, I'm just gonna rewind a little bit and play it. I'll just rewind it like 30 seconds and play it. Hopefully, it corrects itself. I think this is a StreamYard issue, though. I don't. Again, I don't think it's on my end. All right, so we'll just rewind a little bit. Okay, let's go.
24, what was that?
That's an attorney's fees that he's paid to date. The request for distribution of further attorney fees is what is owed. That's why it's separated.
All right, and then how much additional are you requesting in attorney fees?
$1,500, Judge, above and beyond what I've asked for of my motion because I've had to respond to Mr. Daniel Lewandowski's.
All right, he's paid
allegations.
4324. What are you requesting in total, not counting the additional 1,500 from today?
I am requesting, Your Honor, that plaintiff receive $39,555.
Counsel, listen to my question, try and answer it. How much in attorney fees additionally are you arguing your client's entitled to?
$14,951.21.
$951? Yeah.
$14,951.21, Judge. I'm sorry.
So your total attorney fee is $1,900 some odd dollars, right? 19. Your total attorney fee is 19. Hold on, let me do some math real quick. $19,275 is your total attorney fee. Plus, you're asking for another $1,500 for today, right?
Yes, Judge. Thank you.
And tell me the total proceeds again.
The total proceeds were $136,597.37.
And was there any mortgage payoff from that?
There was a payoff, Judge, but it came off the top of the sale.
So we're here to distribute $136,000?
Yes, Judge.
And that's 4 ways, correct?
Yes, Judge.
All right, hold on a moment. All right, and your response while I'm doing that, Mr. D'Onofrio, was that the argument, you say 25,000 was given to your client allegedly by the other, one of the defendants. Who is that? Daniel said that?
Daniel said that my client received $60,000 from a reverse mortgage, which was
So
not
why
true.
are you saying 25,000 in your response?
Because Daniel Lewandowski actually received, and he admits in a text message, or David Lewandowski actually took $25,000 from the deceased parents' bank account. He claims he used it for bills, but that is not true. My client didn't receive anything.
Brian got it all.
All right, hold on.
Don't lie now. Don't.
Don't
You're a lawyer
talk
now.
when I'm.
Okay, I'm sorry.
We're
I'm
in the
sorry.
middle of a discussion. You'll be able to say whatever you want when we get to you, Mr. Lewandowski.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. So going over this again, Mr. D'Onofrio, you're saying your client should be entitled to 1610 for the deck, 6256 in mortgage payments, and 19,275 in attorney fees total, correct?
Yes, Judge.
All right, those are the only three areas you're claiming, plus the 1,500 today.
That is correct, Your Honor. And obviously his distribution from this the house too. But yes.
Well, obviously, as you just said.
Thank you.
All right, so Mr. Lewandowski, you heard what Mr. D'Onofrio said. Did you read his response?
David, you talking?
Daniel Lewandowski,
Daniel, yes, I'm Daniel speaking now. Yes, I
you
did
hear what I
read.
just said?
Yes, I did, sir. I read it.
All right.
Okay.
So they're saying basically your line. What's your response to that?
My response is Mr. Donofrio was lying to the court. He stated in his opening statement about the deck that his client built a deck on the house or the condo. His client did not build a deck. A deck was existing.
No, I'm asking, the question I'm asking is you maintain that your brother got 60,000 from when your parents took out this series of mortgages. They're saying he got nothing and you got 25,000. What's your response to that?
That would be David. I'm Daniel. I didn't.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
No, no problem. No problem.
But you did say he got 60, right?
What I did say last week, Your Honor, to the court and to you is my brother's attorney, Mr. Broadwick, stated that there was a lot of money missing and that Brian was taking money. Okay. And then you asked me, what's your thoughts on that? And I said, I believe Brian's taking a lot of money because there's been 3 mortgages taken out on that condo.
All right. So now you're saying you believe. You have no hard evidence that he got any money from any of those mortgages, do you?
No, just no hard evidence. Just amazing.
All right. And who put in the hot water heater? Which David or Daniel?
Me and David. Daniel and David.
And that was $375 you guys spent, right?
Yes, I talked to you about that last time. Yes, that was.
I know you did. All right. So the court's prepared to rule. I guess I should hear from Mr. Broderick first. Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor. I'm sorry. Appearing on behalf of Robert. So, Your Honor, the decedent, the mother here was 95 and she died like 3 years ago. They took out a mortgage in 2008 with Michigan Education Credit Union for $33,000. My client, Robert, moved in and he settled a workers' comp case and gave his mother $35,000. He then took care of the parents. They died. Brian was on his mother's account. It appears, based on what Mr. Donofrio submitted, that they paid off.
You're saying your client gave his parents $35,000. Why would he do that?
Because he lived there. and he lived there for 10 years and took care of him. He's not,
So
he's
you
not,
have a canceled check for 35,000 you can show the court?
they could get it, but Your Honor, he's not really seeking an extra $35,000. I'm just trying to give you, because they take out the parents take out a $33,000 loan in 2008. That loan is paid off in 2019 when dad is dead. Mom is then 92 years old. Nobody knows about it. They take out another loan, this 92-year-old woman in 2019 for in excess of $40,000. Then they
So how do you
sell.
know that wasn't the mother using it for bills, living expenses, whatever?
Well, she
Why
wasn't.
are you arguing that was improper somehow?
It was, because then the loan, when we closed this house last month, the payoff on the mortgage was $33,000. So if you take out a loan in 2008, you pay on it for 11 years, there's money missing. The other thing is, these brothers, before the lawyers and the court got involved, had a deal. The attorney's fees, Brian dragged this case on forever, wanting more money. He was harassing my client, bad-mouthing him online. The realtor was fed up with him, was ready to quit. This house could have been sold without anyone involved for the same price 3.5 years ago. But he files motion after motion. He's done.
He's an attorney. He's representing one of the other brothers. So the one brother is sitting next to his attorney on the bottom of the screen. He doesn't really pop on the screen very often. But so he's asking for, his attorney's asking for almost $20,000 in attorney's fees to be taken out of this almost $140,000 pot that, I'm guessing is what happened once they settled all the estates, the estate of their parents, sold the house, whatever. So they're supposed to be dividing this money. An issue came up because a loan was taken out, so they had to pay the loan, which was 30 some odd thousand. And now with the attorney costs, it's just all this is eating into it. So I don't. I think Mr. Broderick's going to give us the rest of the story here, but siblings fighting about the money after their parents passed away is what's going on here.
Cooperative. He destroyed the deck. He took a power washer and tore up the wood. You've had this case in your lap too long, Judge, and you're
technically yes, but they were saying that the brother that has the other brother that has the attorney, that the attorney that's asking for the $20,000 in attorney's fees, that brother was on his account, and these brothers are claiming that he's the one who took out the loan, not his mom, because that's what the attorney's about to say right here. I might have just jumped ahead a little bit, but he's going to argue that why would a 93-year-old woman take out a $30,000 reverse mortgage loan on her house? That's what he's about to argue right now. I'm going to rewind it a little bit because I paused it at a terrible time. So let's just go back a little bit.
Ever wanting more money. He was harassing my client, bad-mouthing him online. The realtor was fed up with him, was ready to quit. This house could have been sold without anyone involved, the same price 3.5 years ago. But he files motion after motion. He's uncooperative. He destroyed the deck. He took a power washer and tore up the wood. You've had this case in your lap too long, Judge, and you're telling them to cooperate, do this, that, and the other. They do. Brian didn't lift a finger other than show up with a buddy with a power washer and destroyed the wood, and then badmouth my client online. So my position is, their position is untenable, and I still, just by common sense, I don't know how a 92-year-old lady takes out another mortgage for the same amount or a little higher 11 years after that. And it was coincidentally the same year that Brian bought his place up in Oscoda. I don't have any concrete evidence of that, but the brothers have all said this. And to me, I don't see how the numbers just don't add up. I mean, my dad died at 92 and he wasn't doing much of anything the last 7 years of his life. This lady's out there, no offense, their mother is out there taking out new loans at the age of 92. It just doesn't smell right to me. They had a $33,000 note in 08. 11, 12 years later, she's taken out another note for the same amount or more. I mean, she didn't live high on the hog. She wasn't like going to casino.
I understand your argument, Mr. Broderick. Mr. Dave Lewandowski, anything else you want to say?
Yes, I believe, I don't know much about that, but as far as the lawyer fee for Brian, I believe he should be paying his own lawyer. As Mr. Broderick stated, we did try to, and almost had somebody to buy this house 3 years ago. Brian wouldn't let it happen. He thought it was ripping him off. He thought it was worth $50,000 more. So nobody should be paying anybody's lawyer. We didn't need lawyers. We didn't even need to bother you, Your Honor. This should have been done 3 years ago. So as far as the money, I think the money should be split up evenly between all four of us.
All right, Mr. Daniel Lewandowski, anything you want to add?
I would just piggyback on my brother David there. He is totally correct, like Mr. Broderick. We had this deal done. We got the same real estate agent that we started with, Mario Como, and Brian kicked him out the door. But he was nice enough to come back, and he held out for over 3 years and finally sold that property. We finally got it done. It's been 3 years of agony, and it just isn't right.
All right, the court's prepared to rule. So the court will order that Brian Lewandowski receive a total of $19,275 off the top of the proceeds, and that's for $1,610 for the deck, $6,256 in mortgage payments that he made, and I misspoke. That he received $22,866, and that's for the deck, the mortgage, and then I'm awarding him $15,000 of the $19,275 he's requested. So $22,866 will be deducted from the total sale proceeds. The balance will then be divided equally 4 ways.
And you call that fair?
Yes, I call it fair, Mr. David Lewandowski. Can you spell contempt? Because you're paranoid now. That concludes the hearing.
Judge, I'm assuming no future dates on this case.
Pardon me?
I'm assuming no future dates no longer on this case.
Dates and get in and order to that effect and close the case, Mr. D'Onofrio.
Will do, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you. Judge, that completes today's docket.
Yeah. Can you spell contempt? Yeah, that's a weird one, especially because another brother had attorney's fees. Matthew Broderick showed up, right? He came out of acting retirement to show up, and he didn't request attorney's fees. So I don't know what happened here, but I do feel like the three brothers got kind of screwed. They had to pay this guy. They had to pay his brother almost $20,000 over the last 3 years for attorney's fees for his brother's attorney off the top of the estate. And I know that happens, especially when you're fighting a state court, or you take any kind of estate issues to court. The person that's in charge of the estate, like the main person in charge, if there's a legal battle, they're allowed to use that money to defend themselves and or to hire representation, which is what happened. And I don't know. My mind's just kind of blown about that. I understand why the brothers are upset. Anyways, 90 days awesome. All right, let's move on. We're done with that case. I don't want to harp on it too much. Oh, this one. Do you guys remember the case from last week with the twins, where the one twin kept interrupting the judge? And it wasn't even his case, but the twin who did have the case, spent 10 minutes throwing his attorney under the bus, and then the attorney took 10 seconds to get the case dismissed. The twin that wouldn't stop interrupting Judge Simmons last week. He has a court date today, so this is great. These brothers are just awesome.
Matthew Wolf, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Can you hear me, Your Honor?
I can hear you. Thank you.
Thank you.
On the record, in the matter of the state of Michigan versus Matthew Wolf, file numbers 23-03207. Mr. Wolf, let's see here. This is the set for a show. Oh, yeah, that's right. Where's his attorney? He has an attorney. So I actually need the counsel appearance on that. Yep. See who that was. Jacob.
I believe it's Keith Watson.
Oh, yeah, that's the chief public defender, but he sends an assistant public defender to court. So you're represented by Mr. Raleigh, I believe, Jacob Raleigh. Matthew Wolf here. He was actually put on for a show cause. I need your parents for the record, please.
Jacob Raleigh on behalf of Mr. Wolf.
And I need the prosecution's appearance.
Haley Fortune Gill on behalf of the people, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Wolf, this matter was actually scheduled for show cause because you were before the court back on March 31st. You expressed that you did report to the clinic to have your license restored, but that they were not able to pay off your fines or to provide us. And I investigated that further and found out that that was not accurate.
No, ma'am, that was. I'm right here. I'll show you the paper. I got the paper where the guy said he could not help me, but I paid the 55th District Court. I paid the $45, and they said that I'm able to get my license after that. Because they gave me these.
You don't need to post your papers up on the screen because I can't read that. So if you want me to read something, you got to come in person.
Okay.
Okay. So as it stands now, you're able to get your license. Is what you're saying?
Well, no, because on your end, I have a no insurance 3601 18L23. Well, I called down there yesterday at the 54A District Court, and I talked to a lady, and the lady told me that I have to pay the 500 and some. I paid 200 and something, and then another $45, and then the $500 I was going to work off because I didn't have $500.
Okay, I understand all that. So let me stop you because I didn't call you here for the purpose of you going down the same thing that you went down last time. I recognize that you have a host of past due fines. That was why you were referred to go and participate in the restoration clinic. However, our criminal clerk manager who was present at the clinic indicated that you actually appeared. They would have paid all of that off for you.
Ma'am, I did appear. I was there on Martin Luther King. I swear, with my twin brother. He went and he took a driver's test and he didn't pass. But the guy told me he would not be able to help me until I get these two matters taken care of by the judges that are 54A District Court and 55th District Court. The man that was at the table up front.
What two matters are you referring to that they say you needed to take care of?
The one in 54A District Court is citation 18L23433151, and it was a suspension date of 1/15/2019 of a no fault, no insurance 3106. The second matter is a failure to comply.
Yolanda. Oh, you have them already?
Both of these are failure to comply, and it's on 3/19/2018. The citation number is 1800551 0113/2020, and it was for operating while impaired by liquor.
That's exactly what we're referencing. And our criminal court said, had you appeared, they would have paid all of these off as they did for all the other people. There was grant funding to pay all of these fines off for people. And so if you're paying these on your own, that is problematic if you appeared to the clinic, okay? I see here that you owe 40, sir. Stop talking. I see here that you've paid at least some portion of it, it looks like. It says it's only due $45 on both? Yeah. I'm sorry? Yeah. Okay, it looks like you've made some payments. What is that, the reinstatement fee? Let's see. Payment plan has been deleted, let's see. This is not when they apply the. What are all these modifications? That together is really bad. So, okay, I'll waive both of those. We need those two files. That's on both files, I suppose. Looks like you owe $45 on both fees, or both files, that is. And that's probably because of the driver's license restoration fee and the juror compensation fee. I'm going to waive the $45 on both of those too. Can you give me those files, please? And that will be the balance owed on those two files. Okay, sir?
I paid those. I paid those, ma'am.
They said that you owe, our records reflect you owe $45 on both.
Okay.
But I'm going to waive it because that's that was actually the suspension fee that was attached. And so my records reflect that you still have an appointment, I guess, with Secretary of
Bill, thank you so much for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate it. Welcome to the 5 new members. Thank you so much, Phil.
State, is that correct?
Yeah, I went to the appointment with Secretary of State, and I filled out my title, trying to get my license and trying to get the car legal, but now I don't have that money because I spent all the money on the tickets. I spent $238 on tickets through the court this Friday or whatever. I have the receipt in my phone.
Okay, so you just made a payment on Friday.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I made $238 payment, but I couldn't pay on the $500. And Your Honor, with all due respect to the court.
Okay.
Your Honor, with all due respect to the court, and I respect Your Honor a lot. And
I know you do.
I would never lie. I would never lie to you. I went to the restoration place, and that man told me he could not help me.
Okay, I understand what you're saying. My concern is why they would not be able to help you, because that was the purpose of the clinic, is to help pay off the past 2 fines.
I know, because they helped a couple people before me. A lady got her license, got her stuff paid off, but when it came to me, I showed him the piece of paper he gave me of my driving record, and then the open facts of FCJs that they gave me. They gave me these papers at the restoration clinic, And then when he saw this paper with those 2 offenses on there, he said he could not help me until I saw the judges.
Okay, so you're scheduled to come back here May 5th, and what you're saying now is that you paid, you used the money to pay off your fine, so now you need additional time. Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, because when I went up to the Secretary of State to try to switch my title over to my name, they told me I can't even put a car in my name. I don't know why. And
Well,
I
probably
guess
because your license is not cleared yet. Your license, if you just made a payment on Friday, your license has not yet been cleared.
Yes, I made a $238 payment. And that was the $45, and there was another one of 2 something. Or $45 and 1 something. It was 180 something or something. And then it cost a fee to send the money. Because I did it online.
We see that you did make a payment, but we are not the Secretary of State. So after you make a payment here, they still have to be notified and processed on their end to clear your license.
Okay.
So I'm gonna reset your May 5th date so that you have additional time to get your license taken care of.
Okay. Your Honor, again, with all due respect, I'm doing everything in my power to get my license because I want to get my license so I can get to work because I work all the way on North Grand River and I don't want to get pulled over or get in trouble or none of that. And I can't take the bus all the way out there because it doesn't go all the way, you know?
Please do not drive right now because if you get pulled over, all the things that you've been working for could really be in vain. You understand that?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
How long have you made it? I'll just give him an additional couple weeks. June 2nd at 8:30. June 2nd at 8:30.
Okay. Is that
your next court date? Yep, you can appear via Zoom. That's via Zoom because hopefully by then everything will have been taken care of and you could have by then have your license taken care of.
I should have that 500 paid off by then too.
I don't know what 500 is for. Okay, you're all set for today, sir.
Yes, Your Honor, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Yeah, I felt like I needed to play that because we played the other brother last week. So it's like, you know what? They're both in court in front of the same judge. So let's go. All right. What do we have next? What's going on? This one. This one's gonna frustrate some people. I can already see it happening. This guy is trying to get off probation because of money. It's like, I've got money. We've got money at stake. I can't be on probation. That's what this one's about. So, can money buy you off probation? Is going to be the question for this case. Sparkle Poops, thank you so much for the gifted membership and welcome to the new member. Thank you so much, Sparkle Poops. Thank you. No, I actually do have a feel good clip tonight. That's after this one, though. We're gonna watch this one first. This is not a feel good. Next one's a feel good.
All right, Ronnie Baroki, 2101685.
Yes, good morning, Alexandria, after we have probation department.
Good morning, Your Honor. Justin Zaid, PA1051 on behalf of Mr. Maroki, who's present, consents to appear via Zoom. Mr. Maroki, can you state your full name?
Okay, how you doing?
State your name, Mr. Maroki.
Rahmi Maroki.
Your Honor, also present is Mr. Garmo. He has been referenced in a few letters we've submitted to the court. He is the broker for Mr. Maroki. I figured instead of playing telephone through multiple people, we'd have him on the line to be able to provide an update on the situation that we discussed last time, if that's okay with the court. Your Honor, as you recall, this is Mr. Maroki's continued motion or renewed motion for early termination of probation. Last time we were before Your Honor, we established the basis upon which the court can grant his motion for termination, and that's by leave, indicating that the court has discretion to terminate probation at any time during the probationary period. Now, that is not to say that we understand that this is a very tenuous position that Mr. Moroki finds himself in, seeing that he had the violation in November after absconding from probation from quite some time. Your Honor, we do not diminish that fact. We don't shy away from it.
No, didn't win the lottery. Creators are given 10 free memberships a month. So I give 5 out on the 1st and 5 out on the 15th. I just looked down and it's the 15th. So I sent out the other 5. While I'm paused, Sparkle Poots, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it. Brain alert, a Colin Feelgood clip incoming. Prepare. Yes, it's a Colin Feelgood clip. It's coming up next. Thank you so much, Sparkle. I appreciate it.
Understand that is of serious concern to the court, and we share that concern as well. What I tell Mr. Moroki, like I tell all my clients, is we can't change what happened previously. All we can do is the best we can do at this moment. And I believe that Mr. Moroki has done that since his November positive test, Your Honor. He's now, again, for the court's edification, testing 5 times a day, support group meetings over 3 times a week. He's engaged in counseling. He's doubled his community service. For all intents and purposes, Your Honor, I think established he is benefiting from the rehabilitative goals set out for him on a probationary period. All of those are, renewed arguments that I made from the last time. The reason that we can't come before Your Honor again is because you brought up that new law whereby the SBA no longer disqualifies candidates from loan applications based on their probation status. We took that information back to Mr. Chung at Live Oak Bank, who acknowledged that development in the law, but nevertheless still denied Mr. Moroki's application, given his status on probation. We conducted further research into this, and it's apparent, Your Honor, that how it's shaken out since this law has come into effect is that the burden for loan application review has just simply shifted from the SBA to banking institutions and lenders, where now these lenders can engage in their own independent reviews of applicants and can deny or otherwise grant applications on a case-by-case basis based on their own internal criteria. And what, based on what I've reviewed and what I've researched, is that
Jedi! Dang! Very generous of you, Jedi. Thank you so much. I don't recall giving you your 19K sub bonus. Here it is. That says, hey. Thank you, Jedi. That is awesome. Thank you. That is so incredibly generous. I do appreciate it. You are awesome, Jedi. I know I need to find a new word, but you know what? Old school tonight. You are awesome. Thank you so much, Jedi. While I'm paused, isn't that special with a gifted membership? Thank you so much. Isn't that special? Welcome to the new member. Isn't that special? I hope you're doing well. Isn't that special? I need to saying your name over and over again. Isn't that special? Isn't that special? Isn't that special? Yeah, I hope you're doing good. Isn't that special? I really do. Yeah, I'll just keep it at that. I don't like putting people's personal business online, but I have been thinking about you. We'll just keep it at that. And yeah, Jedi, thank you so much.
many of these institutions will still use a criminal history, probation status against applicants like Mr. Moroki. And that's what's happened here with Mr. Chung. He indicates that as long as he's on probation, he will be denied. And but for his probation status, he would otherwise be approved. He's already made it through underwriting. Otherwise, his financials make sense. And as indicated in Mr. Garmo's letter, this is the final hurdle to getting past this loan application process, getting approved and being able to close. Again, Your Honor, we understand that this is not of the court's concern. The court is concerned with protecting the general public, ensuring Mr. Moroki's compliance, and everything in that nature. We wouldn't be coming before you, Your Honor, without having an extraordinary circumstance, a compelling reason for termination. And we believe that given Mr. Moroki's considerable progress and what he stands to lose, both financially from a personal and professional standpoint, as well as the effect on his local community, being able to employ over 10 people at least with this new endeavor. We believe that there are grounds, reasonable grounds, to justify this request, and we are respectfully requesting the court's consideration. If I can just pass it real quickly, Your Honor, to Mr. Garmo for him to further expand on the more brokerage side of it. I'm just not familiar with exactly how it's going to work.
Sure.
Good morning,
Mr. Garbo, is there anything you'd like to add on this?
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Yes, we've been in escrow for about 90 days on 2 properties here in San Diego County. We reached out to several different lenders. What I've been told is, despite the fact that the SBA changed the rules last summer, that each of these lenders has a case-by-case analysis, that they have the full discretion to not loan to anybody based on their internal procedures for with people who have any criminal records, especially on probation. The biggest issue for us is Mr. Moroki is
just wait, Derval. Just wait till the judge chimes in here in a second.
going to lose tens of thousands of dollars because he went hard, we called it, he went non-refundable on the earnest money deposit. I sent Mr. Zaid a letter a week ago from the property in California. Essentially, we were served with a notice to perform or terminate escrow. And essentially, we have to close very, very soon, I believe in the next 10 days or so. Otherwise, he's going to lose at least $10,000 on one of the properties and perhaps between $10,000 to $100,000 on the other property. So it's a timing issue for us. Can we find a lender out there that will do the loan? Perhaps a month, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Part of the challenge is that each lender has their own specific requirements, internal procedures. The biggest issue, again, is Mr. Moroki is going to lose substantial sums of money from these 2 live escrows because of the timing itself.
I appreciate.
Terrapin, he can't get a loan. That's what he's trying to get a loan to have to pay for the property. I'm guessing that they've already signed a purchase agreement, but he doesn't have the money, so he's trying to get a loan, and the bank won't give him a loan because he's on probation. So that's the issue. Now he has a DUI. Remember, he's on probation for a DUI, and yeah, again, we gotta hear from the judge. I've got a lot to say about this, and let's just hear from the judge first.
You framing the issue and being here today and sharing that additional information. Thank you, sir.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Zayed, I just wanted to affirm that the court's reading of the law a couple weeks ago was absolutely accurate, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. And I read Jim from Live Oak's letter, and he indicates the second paragraph, it would make it seem as if just being on probation was the primary cause of them hitting the pause button. Because if you read the second paragraph, it says, due to your current probation status, the bank has decided to pause on your approval and closing of your SBA 7A loan. But if you read the next paragraph, it's not just simply the probation aspect of it. It says, although the SBA does allow PLP lenders like Live Oak Bank to approve and close SBA 7A loans for borrowers on probation, due to the recent probation violations discovered, the bank has decided to pause on this loan. So it's not just simply that he was on probation. It is because of the fact that they discovered that he was on, his status was one of being a probation violator, which he violated by way of a plea in November, and then violated again in January. And one would argue that someone who has big major deals pending, because it's been in escrow for the last 90 days, would do his very best to not violate this court's probation. And so that is obviously, as you can imagine, of great concern that basically what the court would be doing is rewarding Mr. Moroki above and beyond anybody else who's on probation simply because he's got some big deals pending. And think about, Mr. Zayed, what that would say to every single man and woman who is on probation in this court, who has to work and grind and fight. And maybe they don't have the financial means of Mr. Moroki and aren't involved with big deals. And yet they're held to a particular standard, but then the court shifts and puts a whole different standard on Mr. Moroki and allows him to complete a drunk driving probation shorter than anybody in the history of this court has completed a drinking and driving probation after being gone for 18 months. It is, I'm very much aware of the financial challenges that are facing Mr. Moroki, but it is such an incredible request that's being made that the court can't possibly consider, while still maintaining credibility with every single person that walks through this courtroom, that they're going to be treated the same no matter where they come from, no matter their financial means, no matter their background. This court prides itself that the person who comes to the podium, they're going to get a fair shake. It would seem to me that if I allowed this accommodation, that Mr. Moroki would get special treatment. I'm not interested in special treatment for anybody. I'm interested in fair treatment for all. And so, as far as a motion to reduce or be discharged from probation early, I cannot possibly grant that motion. That motion is denied. Now, if you're looking for a motion for resentencing and you want this court to consider a 93 days in jail, that he's not on probation, or some type of jail alternative, I'd be happy to consider some alternative so that he's not on probation. The court could certainly see a circumstance where the court sentences him instead of to probation to 93 days in jail, suspended for 1 year of alcohol tether. And if he completes that 1 year of alcohol tether, he's not on probation. He has no probation violations. If he completes that 1 year of alcohol tether, I waive the 93 days in jail. So I think that would be fair because, you know, I would think that anybody who's on regular probation would rather be on regular probation than do a year of an alcohol tether. So I can definitely say that Mr. Moroki will have sort of carried his load. But I mean, again, I would think about the credibility hit that this court would take if someone could come in with financial means and indicating that there's just big financial deals, and that's the main reason. Because Mr. Zayed, I can't say in 3 months that he's made some lifelong substantial change. You know, I can't even say that he's achieved sobriety. The best I can do right now is say he's dry. But I am very cognizant that the court needs to look at the person before them and try to be creative where it can. So although I cannot grant your motion for early discharge, if you want me, I'm going to put you in a breakout room with your client. If you want to talk with your client and you want an alternate sentencing, that's what the court would entertain. 93 days in jail, suspended for 1 year of alcohol tether. If he does that, then I think that's fair, and he could legitimately go and say he's not on probation anymore. He has no probation violations. He'd be able to go with credibility to these companies and make accurate statements.
Your Honor, my only concern, and I'd like to begin by saying, Your Honor, we appreciate that statement. We understand the court's position. Just for the record, just so I can quickly clarify, there wasn't a second violation in January. If there has, I don't even think that I would step in and make this motion in the first place.
The plea took place in January.
Sure. And that's one, Your Honor. And then also, what I would like to say is that while I understand the court's concern that this is mainly motivated by financials, and that the court is concerned about objectivity, impartiality, and fairness for all people that stand before you, what I would indicate is that in my experience with this court, it is always geared towards setting up people for success. And I think that if another person were to come before you with a circumstance where they would either have an opportunity to get a job or a new opportunity, both personally or professionally, the court would consider that because they want to put their best foot forward. And I think that the proposal is fair, Your Honor, and I'm not here to negotiate against the court or what it's willing to do. We appreciate the leniency and the flexibility. My only concern is that SBA does, in fact, disqualify individuals who are sentenced to incarceration. So if the court is considering a 93-day sentence and that were to be reflected on the ROA, my only concern, Your Honor, is that Mr. Chung and any other banking institution would be able to prima facie disqualify Mr. Moroki based on the fact that he was sentenced to a term of incarceration.
And, Your Honor, may I add something, Your Honor?
I mean, Briefly, sir.
I spoke with Mr. Chung yesterday. The reason he added that second paragraph in that letter that you were reading to the court is that I essentially threatened lawsuit against the bank for saying, look, you either have the discretion or you do not have the discretion to award or give someone a loan. He says, well, of course.
Yeah, Bertie, you nailed that. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Of course we have the discretion. I said, well, the SBA told us a year ago that you do, that if you're lending out SBA money, you don't have that. He goes, banks always have the discretion. So I think at least part of the reason why he added that language was to protect the bank. That's the first point. The second point was he emailed me 24 hours ago, Jim Chung, saying essentially, is Rami off probation? We are ready to loan to him. So it is the fact that he is on probation that is keeping him from the loan. That is the only reason. The violation, I think, was added on to protect Live Oak from potential issues dealing with SBA loans.
Well, like I said, thank you for that, Mr. Zayed. If you want, you can talk to your client. If you have an idea how to fashion it, I don't really care what it looks like. All I care about the fact is that he certainly owes a responsibility to this community, to this court, that he has not yet paid. And it's not a financial, it's not a situation where it could be a situation where he pays X amount of money and he's off the hook. It's time and effort like anybody else who's on probation for a drinking and driving has to put in. And he put himself in this position by frankly walking away and thinking that it would never come back to bite him. This is the day. This is the day, Mr. Zayed, that his decision to walk away those years ago, he could have been long done with probation. He would have been finished, a year ago, easy, if he would have just followed through. And that's not Mr. Garmo. It's not you. There's one person responsible for the position that Mr. Moroki is in, and that is Mr. Moroki. And he has to own that. He has to accept that. And so that's the reality we're in right now. So as far as the motion for early termination, there is no way, although I may have the discretion, there is no way that I could in good conscience grant that request. But what I'm also telling you is I'm open for alternate resolutions. And if it has to be carved out a certain way or written on an ROA or done a certain way, I don't have an issue with. But I've told you basically the way for him to get off probation, what he needs to do. That's the path. He either sits in jail for 93 days because we've amended his sentence, or he does that period of time on tether that I described with no probation, no supervision, in lieu of any jail sentence. Those are his options. Otherwise, he's got the remainder of his time on probation.
Understood, Your Honor. May I have a breakout room?
Sure.
All right. Yeah, so this is interesting. You heard how the judge felt like, no, I'm absolutely not going to just terminate him from probation. Absolutely not doing that. But if you want to do 93 days in jail, that's fine. We can do that. Or he can be put on a scram tether for 1 year with 93 days over his head, and he will do 93 days if he violates the scram tether. Here's the thing. This is a workaround for the bank loan. And I guarantee if that person that's approving the bank loan sees he's not on probation and approves that loan, and then a month later, Mr. Moroki, if he violates it, he's put in jail for 3 months. I'm just saying I feel like the court is assisting in working around a banking issue. I don't like it. I don't like this at all. I don't like the attorney trying to argue that this guy should be off probation. I don't like this, I don't know, meet in the middle type of deal. I don't know. There's a lot of problems with this. A lot of problems.
Thank you. All right, we're calling Moroki 21-01685.
Good morning, Your Honor. Justin Zayed on behalf of Mr. Moroki.
All right. Mr. Moroki is here. Any additional thoughts, Mr. Zayed?
Your Honor, Mr. Moroki is prepared to avail himself of the court's proposal. We would just simply request very specific language to reflect in the ROA, indicating that Mr. Moroki's probation is terminated, and then the jail sentence is suspended upon 1 year alcohol tether. I think that if those terms are included in the ROA, that Mr. Moroki will be successful with the underwriting process in Live Oak Bank.
Okay. All right.
The ROA is a register of action. That's there's a register of action on every case. So every case that we watch, you can go to the state of Michigan or wherever state it is, type in the case number, and you can see the register of action. That's how I find out information. You know, let's see, the Magoo case is going on right now. I know Wixom is up there, but you know, we can actually follow along on the case without actually watching it by reading the register of action. And it's public knowledge. It's very easy to find. So that's what the ROA has. Well, that's what the ROA is. Yeah, Jedi, but I don't know if the bank's going to see that. The bank's going to see that the I don't know if the bank's going to see that he has 93 days over his head wearing a scram tether. I really don't know. I mean, that could be something they just keep out. They don't have to tell him. That's why I said I don't like this. I feel like the court's assisting this guy of getting around a bank regulation. Like they don't want to give you a loan because you're on probation. Just removing the word probation shouldn't work. It just shouldn't.
I actually think, Mr. Zayed, what I can do, if he completes the 1 year of alcohol tether, he actually would have earned the language of discharge with improvement. And so I think we can actually fashion an order that says he is discharged from probation with improvement contingent on completion of a 1 year alcohol tether. That way there's no mention of jail. The only way that all comes into play, and then he would have a discharge with improvement that he could have. Now, I want to make sure you understand, Mr. Moroki, if you violate that tether, and this is different from a GPS tether, you'll be able to travel, you don't have to ask for permission, you're not on probation anymore. You have one sole responsibility, and that is complete that 1 year of alcohol tether, and then the discharge with improvement that I'm putting in place stands. If you don't, that discharge with improvement gets rescinded, and then you're subject to a potential 93 days in jail. All right, does that make sense, Mr. Zayed?
It does, Your Honor. We appreciate that.
All right, does that make sense, Mr. Moroki?
Yes, it does, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. So ultimately, are you asking of your own free will this court to engage in a resentencing of this matter?
Yes, Your Honor.
Sir.
Okay. All right. It's the order of this court that Mr. Moroki is discharged from probation with improvement contingent of completion of a 1 year alcohol tether. All other terms are rescinded at this time. If he completes the 1 year of alcohol tether without issue, then this discharge with improvement stands. If he does not, then the court has the right to place him back on probation, give him 93 days in jail, reinstate supervision, all of those things. And so the court's going to hold that in reserve. I think, Mr. Zayed, then I can legitimately say All right, well, Mr. Moroki didn't get everything completed, but he has not received some sort of special treatment. He is undergoing a significant impediment of his freedom, and therefore he is paying a price. And I think that that's fair for everybody involved. And I think that also will protect his business partners long-term, and it will also help me know that this period of time that he has demonstrated that he can stay away from alcohol, he can do it for a year. And that's and really in the end, that's all I ever wanted from Mr. Moroki, was to make sure that he was sober coming out of this incident. It's good for everybody, good for him, good for business, good for the community.
I think it's an equitable resolution, Your Honor, and we appreciate it.
All right, well, we'll fashion that, Miss.
I just want to make note for the record, because he does reside out of California, if we cannot find a tether in California, may need to return to Michigan for a period of time to get that tether installed. Rami, I will talk to you further on that.
Come up there anytime.
I would imagine that's someplace in California, but if not, Mr. Moroki will make himself available. That shouldn't be an issue.
I'll fly out
Understood.
that way.
All right. I don't expect that I will see Mr. Moroki again. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Thank you so much, Your Honor.
All right. Yeah, I've already said my piece on that. I'm not going to continue harping on it. I don't agree. Okay. I just said I'm not going to harp on it, then I instantly went to harping on it. All right, let's just go to the next one. We're going to finish up with a feel-good clip. I mean, as feel-good as court can get. It's not going to bring tears to your eyes. It's not, and it actually is a feel-good clip. I'm not trying to trick you tonight. It's a clip where you're gonna see this judge and be like, yeah, awesome job, judge. I like it when judges show personality and throw jokes at the person that that's in front of them. I just like it. So yeah, that's the last clip. This is the last clip. So let's go.
Ms. Bowles, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, let me see what we have for you. I'm pulling up your case right now, or at least
it's about 10 years old. I know I came up there. I live in Florida now. I got stationed back to Florida, so
Okay.
I came there, and I don't know if it was you I saw or another judge. You told me to pay something. I paid it, and then I thought that was it. I'm not making no excuses like everyone else. I totally thought I was good and go.
Yeah. Well, I do see you had an original fine of like $745, and it's down to $395. So you paid $250.
Did I get jail credit? Because I did go to jail.
Yeah. But
I'm officially not working, so that's why we've been laid off. I'm in the mortgage business now, and we've been laid off.
Well, you're in the mortgage business?
Unfortunately.
That's a tough place to be.
It is the worst place to be, besides jail.
Well, I can tell you that if you're in Florida, you're not going to go to jail, at least on this case. Well,
I don't want to take no chances.
We can't. As much as my warrant office would love to come to Florida to find you, I'm not going to send him to Florida for you.
Well, I got the letter in the mail the other day, and I went to freaking out. I was like, "Oh my God, orange is not the new black for me. I cannot go to jail nowhere." So
I don't want you to go to jail.
Yes, sir.
I don't want you to go to jail. But I do want you to take care of this. So if you are not working, and then I will authorize you to do some community service to satisfy this fine.
Yes, sir.
Now, in the area where you're living in Orange
Jacksonville.
Okay.
It says Orange Park. It's like Louisville and then Grapevine.
Got it.
Yes, sir.
Got it. Did you grow up in this area?
No, sir. I was stationed out there.
Stationed in the mortgage business or in
No, I was also in the service. I'm no longer in the service.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I was at Carswell.
Okay. And
Yes,
are you
sir.
still in the reserves?
I'm retired.
Well, you're too young to be retired.
That's a good one. I like it. I'm 41.
You look too young to be retired. All right, so let's move along.
Let's tell all these single men that too. I look too young.
All right, so let's go ahead and get this taken care of. So if I authorize you to do community service,
okay.
Where do you think you would do it?
At the horse ranch. I can do it at Double D Ranch. It's a horse ranch not too far from me.
Well, okay, let me for a minute.
Okay.
Did you get that? It's a horse
I got
ranch.
it.
Okay,
Full of
good.
reins. I
Yeah.
got you.
All right. So what is the horse ranch?
It's a nonprofit, and they teach they have kids that
Yep,
has
special needs
autism or
kids.
yes, sir, to come
Yeah,
out
and
there and ride
that's
horses.
a perfect place to do it.
Yes, sir.
So let me tell you, you'd have you'd have 21 hours to do.
I could knock that out since I'm not working in 2 weeks.
Absolutely, you could.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, you could. All right, so let me make a couple notes.
Okie dokie. No more warrant, right? That warrant's gone.
Correct.
Oh, thank you, Jesus.
What you thank him as well, but you.
I mean, thank you too, but thank you,
Yeah.
Jesus.
Thank him first, and then thank me.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. So I'm going to give you to the 9th of May. That's 3
Okay.
weeks
Yes, sir.
to get it done. Okay.
Yes, sir.
That means you're going to have to go talk with them and get it lined up and knock it out in the next 3 weeks. Okay.
Yes, sir. I will do that.
All right. And then we're going to send you. So we're going to move you over to a breakout room. The clerk there is going to prepare a couple of documents. One of the documents is a form that you will use for hours. So
Okay.
the date, the time, when you start, when you stop. But most importantly, that document is the name and the contact information of the person who's going to monitor you.
Yes, sir.
And without us being able to verify your community service hours, 0 credit.
Understand.
So please make sure before you do any work, you've got someone that's there to sign off on your work, because I don't want you working for free.
I won't. I don't like the horse poop. No way. You don't have nothing to worry about.
Yes, ma'am. All right. So if you'll hold on for a minute, the clerk will be right with you. She's
Okay.
going to prepare a document for your signature. Once you sign off on that, then reach out to the horse ranch, and that'll work out fine.
Yes, sir. You have yourself up. Y'all have a great day.
I will. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right, that's it. That was my feel good clip for tonight. Like I said, it wasn't a traditional feel good clip, to bring your spirits up. I just like the interaction between this judge and the defendant. Yeah, this judge is generally kind of cranky, so he was in a good mood today. He was talking to a lot of people this way, and it was a good change to see that. Anyways, that's all I got. That's it. That's tonight's video. Thank you all for hanging out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the super chats, the gifted memberships. You guys are awesome. Jedi, thank you again for that super generous super chat. I do appreciate it. I have a setup to raid Lone Wolf, so go tell him I said hello. All right, that's it. Go home. I'm done. You don't have to go home. I don't care. I don't care where you go. You just can't stay here. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Until next time, bye.